You know, when you look at a massive skyscraper, you see the obvious stuff, right? The steel, the glass, the concrete. But what you don't see is this incredible invisible system of information that's holding it all together. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most critical, yet totally unsung processes in all of modern construction: drawing control.
I know it sounds a little dramatic, doesn't it? But this is a real-world risk that every single construction project on the planet has to manage. How can one single outdated piece of paper in the wrong hands at the wrong time lead to a complete and total disaster? Let's break it down.
It happens just like this. So an engineer makes a really crucial update. Maybe they're strengthening a beam or changing a key material, but the team on the ground, they're working from the old plan, revision A. And the crazy part is they have no idea. They just built it the old way, and in doing so, they've accidentally introduced a critical weakness into the very bones of the structure. That tiny mix-up is the seed of a potential catastrophe.
So to really get how we stop this from happening, we first need to understand the documents at the heart of the whole issue. Let's talk about the blueprint itself.
On a buzzing, chaotic construction site, these drawings are what's known as the single source of truth. It's the one thing everyone has to follow, no exceptions. They dictate every single dimension, every piece of steel, every electrical wire. And yeah, these aren't just pretty pictures. They are the literal step-by-step instructions for creating a building from nothing.
And we're not just talking about one drawing. A major project has hundreds, sometimes thousands of them. You've got architectural drawings for the look and feel, structural ones for the skeleton, services for all the guts, the plumbing and electrical, and so many more. It's this huge, interconnected library of information that has to be perfectly, and I mean perfectly, coordinated.
Okay, so how on earth do you manage thousands of documents that are constantly changing and make sure that out of all this complexity, only the right one gets used? Well, you need a system, a really, really robust one.
And the solution is a concept you're probably already familiar with, even if you don't realize it. If you've ever worked with software, or heck, even just Google Docs, you get version control, right? This is the exact same idea, but for buildings. Just like a developer needs to be on the latest version of the code, a builder absolutely must be on the latest version of the design. It's such a simple idea, but with incredibly important consequences.
And here's how that version control works on the ground. A new revision comes in. Before it goes anywhere, it gets logged and stamped as the official, controlled copy. Then, and only then, it's handed out. And this last part is absolutely key. Withdrawing all the old versions. That's what closes the loop. That's what prevents the disaster we talked about at the very beginning.
This is the brain of the whole operation, the drawing register. Now, it might just look like a simple spreadsheet, but this log is the absolute key to traceability and accountability. With this, you know exactly which drawing version the site engineer has, exactly when they got it, and what revision it is. There's just no room for guesswork.
And this brings us right back to where we started. That critical change from revision A to revision B, it might have been as small as this, switching from a 16mm steel bar to a thicker, stronger 20mm one. It's a tiny little detail on a piece of paper, but in the real world, that's a massive difference in structural strength. This is precisely the kind of tiny but critical change the drawing control system is designed to protect.
Okay, so a system is great, but it doesn't run itself, right? You need someone to actually run it. You need a guardian.
So, meet the site administrator. This person is the human firewall, the unsung hero of the job site. Their entire focus is to meticulously manage this flow of information, logging, distributing, and most importantly, hunting down and retrieving those old copies. They are the person who physically prevents revision A from ever being used once revision B is out in the wild.
All right, let's get to the bottom line here. Why is this whole administrative process not just some nice-to-have bit of paperwork, but actually fundamental to the way we build things today?
So what happens when this system fails? Well, you don't just get one little mistake. You get a total domino effect. Work gets done wrong. Then the inspections fail. You're facing massive delays. And then comes the real worst-case scenario. This, right here. Having to tear down what you've just built. It is the most expensive and, frankly, soul-destroying thing you can see on a construction site. All of that time, all that material, all that labor, just completely wasted. All because the wrong piece of paper was used. That is the real cost.
At the end of the day, it really just boils down to this simple, powerful statement. This isn't just about being efficient or saving money. even though it does both of those things. At its absolute core, this is about safety and professional responsibility. Period.
So, the next time you're out and about and you walk past a construction site and see a new building rising into the sky, I really hope you see more than just steel and glass. I hope you see the invisible blueprint, that meticulous, rigorous system of control run by dedicated people, all working to make sure that what's on the page becomes, safely and correctly, a real part of our world.